Welcome everyone to my chess stream here on lichess Take 2. It's a viewer tournament. We're going to do this every week with a different time control. If you want to find it, it's Sparklehorse Arena, the I Am Sparklehorse Arena on lichess. We're going to just get started in 3 minutes. So the let me find the page here, and we're going to be good to go. No drop frames. The audio is okay. Okay, now. Welcome everyone. Just setting up here. MooBot. You guys can see the name of the you can see the name of the tournament address in my stream at the bottom. So just go there to the link on the bottom of the screen. You can subscribe. Subscribing is another matter, but actually, viewer tournament. Thank you, Divyavatra. There's the link. I was gonna get to that. Welcome everyone. We're going to be playing 7+2. It's a 2-hour event, so hang out for as long as you can. I'm not going to be playing all the rounds. I think I'm going to play a few and then spend part of the time basically following the games of some of the other players. So rather than just constantly annotate my own games as I normally do in our weekly streams here, I am going to maybe play 1 or 2 games at first and talk about my own games. Then as the tournament develops, it should be around 8 rounds, you know, for most people. You know, unless you're berserking or just have really fast games, you know, between 8 and 10 rounds for most players. They're not really rounds per se, being an arena tournament. But I'm going to go over like 1 or 2 games of my own, and then I'll maybe sit out for a while and go over some of the games of the top players in the event. So welcome everyone, welcome to Divyavatra. Our defending champ is here. Don't do it. Don't do it. Play all games. No, I want to, you know, I now don't do it. He's telling me not to do it, literally. He's like, don't do it. You mean what you say, and you say what you mean, man. But I really feel like I should, we'll see, but I feel like I should spend at least some of the time going over your guys' games. I might take a chance to make a video on YouTube, you know, and maybe I'll go over some of the best games from the tournament as a reward to my subscribers. Guys, we're about to start. Let me just tell you, please subscribe to my Twitch stream. We are Slaggy on Twitch. Sparklehorse is merely my lichess name. I'm sure that it's copyrighted. So, here we go. Oh, I'm playing Don't Do It. Of course, I guess this is one of the features of the arena tournament, that they pair the highest rated players with each other. So, Don't Do It against me. He likes to play, well, we had an exchange Caro-Kann last time, and I played, he's very fast. I pretty much only play 1 line here. I'm a little bit limited. To be honest with you, I think the Queen C7 is an interesting move for black, but I haven't really studied it. You talk to our friend, International Master Spinal Tap, also 2 syllables starting with S. He likes to play stuff with G6. Divyavatra. I see I'll gonna berserk here too much. Thankfully, Don't Do It is not berserking against me. Here, Queen C8 is our previous game. The thing I don't like about these arena tournaments is that oftentimes I need to kind of like wake up and I don't like playing strong players in the first round. I mean, I feel the same way about normal tournaments too. Once I got really drunk before a tournament in Syracuse, New York, because I thought that I was going to be one of the highest rated players. And you know, I thought I'll have an easy game Friday night. I mean, I can drink some beers or whatever and relax. Here, if I castle, I ended up getting paired with the Grandmaster. There were like hardly any people that registered for the tournament. It happened to me in Vermont once too, where I was unprepared to play a very strong player in an open in Vermont. I got paired with Vladimir Akopian in the first round. Just thinking, oh, I'm going to play someone really weak in the first round. I can just kind of relax. And I don't like playing strong players in the first round. I lost in Zalakaros to Kovalenko this year. Castles, and then we're going to follow the game from last time, I guess. This is my opening preparation here. Last time Don't Do It played Rook AE1. I think I probably had this game, Don't Do It Again. I probably had this position on the board very possibly 30 years ago. Or at least 20, 28, 29 years ago in a tournament game. National Master James West. Jim West played this against me. Literally. 30 years ago. But now I should castle. Like last time I think I played Bishop G6. It's not necessary to play that. Maybe this is more accurate. I don't remember now. I didn't really look at it. But he tried to break with C4 against me, which is interesting. Another strong player did that against me. Don't Do It Again. A Russian player from Leningrad who's a friend of mine. Obviously, if they're from Leningrad, they're Russian. Or St. Petersburg. I know it's called St. Petersburg now, but when I met him, it was still called Leningrad. Anyway, Don't Do It Again went with the C4, and Jakub Racine also played this against me. Some kind of early C4 in the same variation. I remember clearly. But we've deviated from our last game because I castled. Against Don't Do It Again, I think I played Bishop G6 last time. And I really don't have to. He's playing C4 anyway. Maybe this is his, you know, home analysis. Seems like I have to play Knight C5. I have a very bad feeling about this. This looks familiar to me. Like I've been here before. Knight C5, bishop takes H7, king takes H7, queen H3. This is some sort of trap. Knight C5, bishop takes, king takes, queen H3, king G8. What the heck? Knight C5, bishop takes H7, king takes queen H3. Rook H8. Queen takes pawn check, king G8. I've definitely seen this somewhere before. Yeah, I don't know, man. I should have played the same order of moves as last time. It looks like I walked into this trap. Wait a minute. Do I have bishop h4? Knight c5 takes bishop h4. Maybe that's playable. Alright, I don't know. If I lose, I lose. You know, I'm going to learn something. I mean, this looks like it's a planned trap. I just thought in the last moment I could play bishop h4. But I was hallucinating. Okay. Hallucination station. If king g6, what happens? g4? What's up with that? It's got to involve like rook e3 with forced mate or something. That doesn't look good. G6 is interesting. I mean, this idea of checkmating me. It's funny to do it again. I mean, I think I actually walked into this before years ago and not remembered it. Euphoric Batman. Euphoric Batman, not euphoric. Anyway, I can't find a defense here, a good one anyway. G6, G6. Huh. Euphoric Batman. Do I want to like weaken my own king side? Probably not. Alright, I don't have a better plan. We're going to go with this. It's an open file. Maybe we get some compensation. I don't know. But it doesn't, it just seems like White's got this worked out already, like pre-prepared stuff. We're basically a pawn down with less time. Always a good combination. Yeah, he's playing the perfect move. Pre-analyzed. That's stronger than Queen E2. It's very important to make this differentiation. Queen E2 just allows this rook to come up in some lines. Obviously, I'm like losing here. I'm just down a pawn for nothing. But perhaps we can salvage it somehow. Anyway, guys, welcome. It's open to everyone. We've got I don't know how many players so far. Last time I made the mistake of making it like a private tournament, but I don't think that was a good idea. A lot of people couldn't find the tournament. It was rather inconvenient. So we're pawn down. We're going to try to survive somehow. 5 minutes to 1. My rook on h8, you know, it looks nice, but it doesn't really contribute that much here. It actually would probably be better on f8. I put quite a bit of thought into not playing rook h8 in this position. My concern is that I'm going to get checkmated. If I just play something like king g8, queen takes h5, he's going to be playing rook e3, rook h3 really fast, simply checkmating me. At least I got the queens off the board. Knight d3, bishop g3. Knight takes b2. Tempting. Knight takes b2, rook b1, bishop a3. I don't know, I'm running out of time, so... Maybe don't do it again, we'll just simply play a little too fast or something. Doesn't look like it, but we do have this pawn. I can advance that guy. Don't have a lot of counterplay. Maybe this idea is important. I was looking for that. Knight f3. Where is he going? Don't know. He's got a massive time advantage. We got our pawn back temporarily. So optimistic, but I still have the worst structure. It's kind of important that you don't think just about time here, though. I mean, for both sides. I don't know if this move is any good. Probably not. Not the best move. I had bishop b2 there, which was much stronger. Probably just losing now. Oh man, need to find some kind of defense here. Just gonna lose a pawn. I don't know, Don't Do It claims that he's 2100 FIDE, but he seems much stronger than that, like an IM or GM, the way he plays. Yesterday I entered a 5-0 tournament and first pairing was me. Yeah, you came out of the gate really bad in that game. Don't do it. It was Divyavatra. I'm not talking about this opponent. His friend Divyavatra. White's position is pretty imposing here. We're just world of hurt. It looks like we're gonna lose first round. I'm down a pawn. He has a better minor piece as well here, so it doesn't look good. He could have won a second pawn there. You know, now it's not so clear. This is possibly holdable for me. We've got a little bit of everything. Barking dogs. Possibly drawable position. But it's not easy by any means. I got just 2-second increment. Now I have to improve the king, obviously. I think I actually shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't make that exchange. I'm not sure if it's beneficial for me. Now it may be lost. Yeah, it looks like losing for black in this position. Theoretical win. Amazing technique. Wow. What technique from Don't Do It. This is actually a bad move. I should have played king e7. Yeah, I mean, we look at this game, I don't know, it looks awfully impressive for white. Amazing game. It's like a GM playing the white pieces. A strong GM, though, like 2,500. That's the way I feel. Alright, let's go on to round 2. I don't think he made any mistakes in this game. Maybe some inaccuracies in the ending. I just don't see how he has 45 center pawn loss. I really don't. I mean, just it's a really smooth victory for Don't Do It. There was one little hiccup where he was only a pawn up. Alright guys, let's move on. Another flawless victory for Don't Do It, who has a perfect score in 2 weeks of play. I don't know too many 2150 FIDE rated players who could do that, dude. Alright, we're playing free Helios. I'm going to start with knight f3. Guys, it's a big question whether I should, you know, analyze my own games or actually maybe go over some of the games in the tournament rather than just, you know, discussing my own. Don't Do It said he didn't want me to analyze just he wants me to go over my own games, but I prefer the subscribers get in their opinions. You know, that's what I really value here. So d5 is a mistake. If you guys are subscribers, let me know. Divlyavatra, you have a vote. You're a subscriber. Anyone else as a subscriber can vote to whether they prefer me going over my games or focusing on the other games ongoing, you know, in the tournament. You let me know. Okay, so whoever has subscription powers, let me know. I think this is basically a kind of Neo Grunfeld, which is inferior for black. So bad opening mistake against Don't Do It, who seems like an IM, I would guess. I'm not buying this 2100 stuff. These guys claim that. I don't think so. I think that Don't Do It is some kind of FIDE master IM player who's secretly not telling us who they really are. So I don't believe that they're 2150. Knight b6, knight c3. Based on his speed and his strength, you know, if he is 2150, he's underrated by 200 points plus. So guys, we have, let's see, 20 players right now. The endless crying of the ambulances in Budapest, Hungary here. Another thing I'd like to know, Don't Do It is not even a CM. He just played for a good club with perfect masters. They're playing from the club? What are you saying, man? Knight c6. He's just too consistent, man. Knight c6. Man, this ambulance is driving me nuts here. So d5. I guess I'm supposed to play this. I hate pushing my pawn forward. Gain a little bit of time for development with bishop h6. Maybe f4, f5 actually. I'm a little concerned about e6 and queen h4. I guess he doesn't really have time for that. What about this player though? I have not played them before. The name was a little familiar for some reason, but it looks like it's a new account. You have just about 50 rated games. That's like nothing. I mean, I had 50 rated games when I was like 1500, you know. US. I didn't get a FIDE rating until You know, I was already, well, this was typical back in the time when I was learning, but see, there were no FIDE ratings below 2200 for men, pre 1990 something. So I didn't have a FIDE rating till I was already a master. Free Helios winning a pawn here. I didn't even consider this. It just looks dangerous for black. Winning a pawn. I have mentioned this before, that sometimes I'm not materialistic enough in my play. And this is interesting. But I mean, there's no doubt that I have compensation for the sacrificed pawn. There's a weakness around his dark squares. I think a lot of players would be afraid to do this with black, to win this pawn here. You need more money to play. I agree, man. I mean, tournaments here all over the world, it's too expensive to play you know, open tournaments, open international tournaments. You know, I actually have the similar problem, so I have to work and you know, no time to play. So okay, what are we gonna do here? Queen E1 or something like that? Queen D2. Couple different choices. Feels weird to go Queen E1. I actually don't like this move. I regret playing this move immediately. Alright, we're just gonna have to go with the flow. I don't like this choice. Maybe I should have played Queen D2. But I kept seeing this knight coming here. Actually, maybe I had Queen D4 there as well. Just occupying the central square. He wants to play... Yeah, he wants to play knight E3, obviously. He doesn't have time for Queen B6. But I think he had F6 last move. After this move, all hell's breaking loose. I think that black might be better after that. Now he might just get checkmated. If he doesn't get checkmated, he's just running a risk of getting checkmated here. It really looks like maybe I should even consider taking his knight. Okay. Queen H4, that was the plan. We might as well stick to the misguided plan I began with. Money is always a problem. Yeah, I know. It's not easy. I mean, it's too expensive to go to a tournament, you know, for 9 days or something, you know. To play major tournaments is expensive. But can't you play, you know, some kind of club tournaments? Of course, they're not FIDE rated, right? So how do you play in FIDE rated tournaments without having to spend a lot of money to change your international rating? It's not easy. I have the problem in my own region in the United States. Here in Hungary, it's actually fairly, you know, I would think Serbia would be very similar. You could find some smaller tournaments to go to, depending on where you are. Smaller tournaments that aren't as expensive, but Free Helios just sacrificed a piece. Now, rather than automatic recapture, I can consider bishop f6 here. After bishop f6, there's some problems for black, one would assume. This is usually the kind of move that gets me in trouble when I try to be fancy. But honestly, I mean, I should probably just take the knight, and if rook takes e5, then bishop f6, and I'm just winning. It maybe doesn't matter. But I have a tendency to get myself in trouble by being overly fancy. Here, queen h6. In poker, we call it the fancy play syndrome. Must get a wealthy wife. That is the best way to do it. Yeah, we have a couple of grandmasters who aren't originally from the United States, who made a good career Two of the leading Open tournament winners in my generation in the USA, their wives had very good jobs. That was the secret to their success. If you're a grandmaster, your wife has a good job. It basically means that you don't have to teach lessons. You can spend your time sauntering around to tournaments and stuff. Anyway, speaking of tournaments, guys, we've got a viewer tournament going on. I loved Free Helios's brave sacrifice of the dark squares. Thanks to Norton, I just got a breach alert about Equifax. I know, Norton. So that scared me. It just like popped up. Free Helios here made an interesting decision to swap his dark square bishop, but he wasn't careful enough about the dark squares. Do we have any other subscribers, guys? Wealthy wife or husband, as it might apply to you, is a secret. Okay, guys, what's up? T. Baranzin is leading out of the gate with 8 points. It's a totally new account. I don't know if there's a feature if I can limit it, like you need a certain amount of games to play. Like most tournaments have those requirements, right? But unfortunately, I don't know if the self-created tournaments allow for that. Now I can't do anything but take. Now he's down a rook. Rook is a very, very serious investment. I don't think I have anything better, unfortunately. I could play g4, but rook takes e2 is pretty disturbing. We got to take this. Okay, so he's got a rook. He's got 3 pawns for a rook, possibly 4 pawns for a rook. I'm just looking for some cute way to execute black here. Doesn't appear to be any. I can't hold both my bishop and this pawn on c3. There also don't appear to be any kind of combinations based on rook takes f5. So I would guess there's nothing better than this. Basically, he's got 4 pawns for a rook now. But his king position is so sketchy. I could play rook takes f5. Then he's really got enough material. Not really sure what to do here. I want to stay solid. Create some threats. This doesn't really do anything though. Queen f4. Maybe I'm threatening rook c1. I just felt like I needed to guard the dark squares, get my queen back in the game. 4 pawns for a rook. Who else is here? We've got SXPG. A lot of random people I don't know. Again, I could make it a private tournament, but not really necessary. Last time we did the private tournament, people couldn't figure out the password. Queen f4 Free Helios. There was someone else with a similar name, Free Helios. Okay, so rook c1. He's got queen b2, if nothing else. Mobilizing his pawn. Pawnage. g4. Rook c1 followed by bishop f3. I'd like to break up that powerful duo of pawns in the center. If I could trade one of them for even my a pawn, it would weaken his structure quite a bit. But I think you just kind of have to play on intuition here. I could have played queen d6. Not sure what that did. This is like kind of suicidal, I think. Now his pawns are defective. He was getting in bad time pressure, but don't panic with the increment, guys. With 2 seconds, you should be able to draw a drawn position, for example. You can't play solely for flag against no, don't do it in the first round. I can know for sure he can't play just for flag. That's why I add the increment there. Actually, maybe me just take this. Not enough pawns. No way to defend. But he had some compensation, just not really enough. I think objectively it's lost. It was probably lost basically the whole way. Now it's over. You 2-for-1 sale. He's just down a rook. Alright, back to tournament. Tiberansen, Divlyavatra. Let me take a pause here. Since I'm not berserking and stuff, it's really unlikely I'm going to be able to win the tournament. So I'm going to take a look at like some of the other players. I am a kitty here playing Tiberansen. Let me check the opening. D4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, Nimzo, queen c2, castles a3. This is all a main line. You can also play b5 here. I'm a kitty. That's a well-known pawn sacrifice. G3, kind of an unusual move. Bishop b7 and then f3. You know, white should probably play knight f3 there. I had a similar line against Aldisto, or was it Aldisto? One of the other viewers in the stream. World Loser, what's up, man? Come and join the tournament. Do you have time to play? Another hour and a half left. But let's see what I'm a kitty against Tiberansen. This is an account that's got no games, so it's probably someone who, you know, has seen the stream before and created a new account, or just they're a random guy who created a new account here. But I'm a kitty has good play. Knight g6. That's crazy. Crazy sacrifice. All right, guys, back to the view of the tournament here. What do we got with Don't Do It? What's he doing? Let's check out who he's playing. Xerox against Divlyavatra. Don't Do It against Brahim. What do we got against Don't Do It Brahim? Don't Do It is black, and he's playing He's black, he's playing my favorite, the Hyper Accelerated Dragon. This is a pretty good position for black. Although white should be fine too, objectively. And it's a little weird, actually. I mean, white could consider even g4, but then I guess, yeah, g4. I think that Don't Do It spent a long time here on his knight, left his knight there too long. Now he has knight f5 with a good game. All right, I don't want to give any spoilers. View tournament. Don't Do It. He's playing. No, I mean Divlyavatra, the other top rated player. White has space here. Looks like some sort of Caro-Kann. Definitely another Caro-Kann. No, a French winnower. Wow. Interesting. E5, it's C5, A3. Okay, it's normal. But Queen A5 was played by Xerox. BD2, Queen A4. Yeah, I lost to Ildar Ibragimov once with white in one of these. I don't know what the status is of the theory here. I mean, I think you can even do like some Spassky-esque King D1 in some positions. Rook A2 is another famous way of protecting the pawn on C2. World Loser, what's up, man? Get in the tournament. You just realized what? Then in Berserk mode, I don't have increment. You know, I never thought about it. I rarely berserk, and I never tried berserking in an increment tournament, so I never... That's funny, you don't have the increment. I never thought about it. Yeah, that changes the whole equation. Anyway, I'm going to get back to the tournament. So, Tiberansen running into I'm a Kitty there. It looks like Tiberansen just lost a piece. He sacrificed that piece, that crazy G6. I'm going to get back to the tournament. My C key is stuck. I can't type anything with C. I need to take the computer in to get fixed. I mean, I can type it from the touch keyboard, touchscreen keyboard, but I don't have a touchscreen on this machine. takes me a while to type the C key. Sometimes I can get it unstuck. Alright. Yeah, your donations help make it possible for me to get my keyboard fixed. Please donate via PayPal to support my stream. Check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. I'm serious though. Your donations make a lot of stuff possible. We've got a new mouse. Andron K, welcome to the tournament, man. I'm not going to berserk unless somebody berserks against me. And I'm playing the Caro-Kann because the Caro-Kann, you know, is something I feel like I need work on. I lost to Don't Do It. Some sort of trap I had fallen for once before. And I fell for it again. Well, actually, I mean, I saw it, but there were other problems in the position. Andron playing knight c3. This is basically like some kind of reverse, closed, like Chigorin type of thing. Also could be a Verisov, where I got in like knight c6. I mean, sorry, I got in c5 and c takes d. I would imagine knight e4 is even a move here. But I've played this position before, and I normally try to play a kind of stable setup. You crushed Tibu like a little baby, but in that game I realized my clock didn't give me two seconds. So now Andron allowing bishop g4, which kind of like makes my development a little easier. But Tibor, not Tibor. Against I'm a Kitty, he simply gave up a piece. What happened now? Somehow, oh, he's just down a rook, okay. Crushing him like a baby. Alright. Andron K, I've had a lot of games like this recently. We had one the other day. Almost the same position. And, I had a game that was a draw the other day in a Blitz tournament here, 5-0 tournament. I was just unable to win. The dude traded all the pieces off. It was actually a reverse of this position, kind of. Rook b8 with the idea of minority attack. He's actually preempting my minority attack here. If bishop f4, bishop d6, he can't. It's not like an exchange Caro-Kann where that bishop is bothering the stupid diagonal all the time. He can't molest my rook on b8. He tried, but unsuccessfully. Yeah, we simply trade, and that trades his own bishop pair off, you know, which I think is strategically good for me. Now he's gone with this knight b5. This is a little weird. Okay. Now I have to consider the options here. It looks a little artificial for white, kind of wasting time. In the end, he didn't really achieve anything. We've got our minority attack, but nevertheless, white's position is still sort of hard to crack. The minority attack is basically all I've got. His bishop in these structures is not very useful, and that's, you know, that's what makes him suffer a bit here. I'm not sure about queen b6. Actually, yeah, it's got to be a good move. I'm putting pressure on d4. We're connecting our rooks. Black should be slightly better without any real counterplay. He has to do that. And now we've got the c file. Because he's played b3, he softened up his structure. We can pressurize. Pressurize and pressurize. Maybe knight e7, knight f5, knight d6, knight e4. This looks a little time consuming. I'm not sure I should have played knight e7, but he's playing so fast. Uh-oh. There was this old man named Yuri Kolodkin who used to play at my chess club in Boston years ago. He loved to do this Queen's Gambit maneuver, you know, where he gets a knight on c5. But we're on the lookout for that. You know, I'm not going to let him do that, hopefully. If I can triple up on c2. You crushed Tibu, yeah. What's up, guys? Every week I'm going to try to do this one viewer tournament. Maybe I'll even pick out the best games and make a YouTube a little YouTube video, like a 40-minute video. I got to keep the pressure on c3. Otherwise, you know, he'd have some time for some actually. Well, now he doesn't have the square even, you know, to get the knight into c5. That's what he needs to do here. a4 is a good idea, but ultimately I have a5 actually here. Then what does it do? a5, a takes b, takes. Ultimately, a5, a takes b, takes, queen b6 or something. Rook takes rook, rook takes rook. It actually looks kind of disturbing. The guy's playing insanely fast too. 1754. If I play a5, he just plays ab. I take, he just takes back. And then I have to like find some good idea, which I don't see now. Alright. I'm a little bit concerned that I won't have a breakthrough. You know, that he seals off the queen side. I'm also playing a little bit passively here. I'm afraid I don't have enough open lines. I could do something like temporarily sacrifice a pawn with knight e4. Again, a5. But now it's more appealing. I still have back rank problems though. a5 takes, knight takes b5. Rook takes a5, knight takes c3. Would I get like back rank mated or something? Nice. If a5, a takes b, c takes b. Again, I have a better structure, but knight takes b. I'm getting back rank mated all the time. The guy's very fast. Play g4. I mean, his break should be f5. Yeah, I'm not sure this is even good for me, to be perfectly honest. It's hard to watch and play, Diovin says. Yeah, I don't know if you should do both. It's kind of a good question. I don't know about this approach by me. My opponent's speed of play and strength seems stronger than 1754. I take everything and he's just fine here. Looks like I need another move. Now my knight is like ridiculous. Knight take a6. That's an issue, dude. If we trade everything, a6, rook e8, a7, rook. That's kind of funny though. We take and trade everything, a6. It's gonna be really messed up. He really can't play. I don't know if he should play that. Could be I'm like on the verge of losing now. Looks lost. The guy's a little too strong for 1700. But then again, I don't see how he's going to break through. The instant bishop f1, man. I mean, this is a player with very good technique. How do I break through? Looks like I'm in a kind of zugzwang. There's only one way I can think of to try to play this. It's just that it's kind of slow. We're gonna have to play e5, I guess. Even that might be bad. I guess I could play g5. I mean, how is this player 1754 on lichess? It's playing like a master at least. I know it sounds like I say that about everybody, but come on. The speed at which he's played is unbelievable. Of course, I get people trolling me, you know, whatever. This is like a draw at best for me. I'm like stuttering. What is going on? The outside pawns with the bishop. Perfect technique by white. I'll be lucky if I score 50%. Yeah, share my videos on YouTube with your friends, guys. Andron UK, the 1700 who plays like a master. Okay, I don't know about this last move though. I mean, I think he had rook f8 there, which looked really scary. His basic idea was 100% on to create the two outside pawns, but here I've got rook h7 check. I'm like winning now. This is ridiculous. He played fantastically. I mean, in the technical part, after the opening, from the opening to the end game, his play was like an IM or something. The opening was kind of stodgy, and here he made a blunder finally. But in between, his play was I was just like lost here. I mean, he totally had me crushed. Now I have king f5. I've got to watch out for tricks. I did not expect to win this game. But it looks like it's winning. Bishop c6 was his last trick. No, you don't have that, man. You played fantastic in between the opening and the end game, though. I was lost. I mean, I guess I made it fairly easy for you, but I can't imagine if I tried to berserk against this player, what would my chances be? Like 0. I underestimated him though, you know, because his opening was really fairly harmless. Most strong players play, you know, more aggressively in the opening, and Andron just I started to realize how strong he was when it was already too late. Maybe there's some psychological advantage in that, you know, to pretend you're like a weak player, and then spring it on the opponent like when they're least suspecting it. Oh, by the way, I'm not a weak player. Now we're winning. A little bit too fast. Andron, of course. Some people don't play 7+2. Listen, guys, we're not always going to play this time control. I'm just going to change it up every week. So maybe next week 5-0. The week after that 3+2. We can experiment with different sort of time controls. But Andron had me busted. I mean, I was just lost here in this game, in the end game. When he gets that pass pawn and plays bishop f1, I'm certain that with technique, you know, he's winning there. We look at that position. I would be very surprised if I'm not 100% lost in this position. Here it's like equal. And now I find a way to be like clearly worse. I try to do something with a5, and the computer says what? I should take on b4? I must have missed something. So I should just take on b4. Okay, it's better for me. It's not winning, but this was a terrible mistake. And this endgame, I don't know, man. I mean, I think I'm lost here. Bishop f1, best move. And you know, now if a little bit better technique, I think I was gone. Anyway, back to the tournament. Back to tournament. Let's see what's going on. Don't do it. As expected, leading the event. You know, I'm not berserking. Tiberanzen lost a couple games. Beowulf. Who else is here? Let's see. We got 43 players. Do we really have that many? Wow. Okay. Where are my subscribers? I'm a Kitty is watching and playing. Someone played Don't Do It plays Bishop D2 against the French winnower. That game just started. Xerox is decent. He's 2100, 2200 in Blitz. But Xerox, I don't know this variation very well. I guess theoretically, I did have a student who played this with white. This is one of Roman. Don't Do It's been studying Roman's videotapes. He plays the Grand Prix attack. He plays this stuff. The Roman's Lab opening repertoire, basically. Alright, guys. We're going to go back to the tournament and see if maybe we could get third place. I think that wouldn't be a bad result. I'm running in 5th right now. I've only played 3 rounds, though. Tiberanzen's up to 5. And those guys are up to 4 rounds. We're a little too slow. We're a loser just got started. A lot of provisional players in this tournament. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can control that, though. In the homemade tournaments, can you set a requirement of games that they need to play? Euphoric Batman says you're playing me. A Beowulf is your euphoric Batman. Alright. I don't play e4 as often as the other opening moves. My theoretical knowledge isn't as good as other stuff, but I still have had some success with the e4. The Najdorf, my favorite. No, I was on record as saying, like, a little while back, basically, that I think the Najdorf and the Sveshnikov, I guess this isn't necessarily a secret to anyone, the Najdorf and the Sveshnikov, those are the best. Now, is it my bad memory, or am I supposed to play g4 here? No. You can play g4. I mean, that used to, I think that used to be the school of thought that g4 is definitely best. Now we're in the Fischer-Sozin. I did do a video on my YouTube channel on this opening. I've also played with black quite a bit. I never really enjoyed playing this particular line with black. But it's more flexible if white has the option to castle queenside as well. A lot of old theory here. From, you know, the 60s and 70s. I had an old book when I was starting out and like a A player. Before I was even a candidate master, I was studying these lines. Some old Sozin book I remember. I liked a lot. F4, Fischer, Bobby. F-I-C-H-E-R. F-I-S-C-H-E-R. Nem F-I... It's not F-I-S-H-E-R. A lot of people, like, younger people think that Bobby Fischer is spelled with S-H, but it's not. Alright. Bishop takes. We're back in main line now, and I guess queen takes is possible too. come to think of it. But I'm not sure there's any real value in queen takes. I mean, it's probably not terrible for white. Beowulf, 1900. Is that like the Epic of Gilgamesh? Beowulf from the Epic of Gilgamesh. We studied that in high school. All right, I had a really good English teacher in senior year in high school, and it was kind of fun. What's up, guys? We're playing a viewer tournament. You can see in the title of the stream at the bottom, there's a link to this tournament. 7+2 casual. Don't Do It is going to win all his games again. It seems like he's unbeatable, undrawable. Unfortunately, I played him in the first round when I wasn't really prepared psychologically yet. So E5 is main line. I guess it's like short Kasparov, short. I don't really like playing like Nigel Short, but it's better than being like him. Actually, Short is a good player. I just don't like his personality, really. Rook takes f7. One of those moves I've seen occasionally work. But now we'll just have to transpose to main line here. I've played this position for black. I've never played it for white, really. Maybe on 1 or 2 occasions. What am I thinking? I don't know, it's really weird looking at the white side of the board here. I keep thinking I did something wrong. But this is all theory. And I remember my friend beating Sergei Kudrin with black. My friend was black once. Yeah, this is all book. He swallowed an encyclopedia. So you could play Queen E2 or Rook F2, but I think Rook F2. I'm not sure though. If I play Rook F2, then E5 can come in. That's what's kind of weird about this. Oh, sorry to deafen you guys. GM Azmai Paschall is a troll. He lives and hangs out. He probably lives and hangs out at chessbomb.com or some other reputable chess site. Little Pingwing says, I thought that was kind of an insult. Wait till FIDE gets your ass. Rook D8 looks like the wrong move. No, they were making fun of Aronian's. Today I saw people making fun of Aronian's. Trying to find the word. His attire. This may not work, but I think it does. Unfortunately for Beowulf, it's too late. We've got this. But I was lucky, you know, if he knows a couple more moves of theory, I don't think that white... Alright, guys. I don't know if we have a moderator in the chat. They'll have to keep an eye out for Azmai Paschall and his crew. I remember when Azmai got beat up. I saw him shortly after that. He looked beautiful. with his blackened face. Alright. I'm not a supporter of FIDE, I'm sorry. But you were a good player. The last time I played with Asmai in Blitz, he beat me with his modern defense. Rook F1. It's sad, but Beowulf walked into a simple trap. It is mate. We're in 6th place. World Loser seems to be here, but we don't know if he's actually here or not. But I don't, I don't think that Asmai is guilty of any crimes prosecutable in an Eastern European court. All right, back to tournament. What's up now? Don't Do It is up to 16. Vatra, his buddy, at 12. I'm at 8. Tiberonson hanging on. World Loser's busy playing. That's the problem. Can't ask him to be a moderator and play at the same time. He's making a run for like 3rd place. He's here. What's up, Wasabi? Yeah, I mean, just Rook FD8. It's all book. I think you're supposed to play E5. And Bishop E3, and it's game. I don't know. Black's at least equal. That was my theoretical understanding. Maybe not at least equal, but anyway, Black's equal. Equal chances. It's a very dynamic position. But I play that for Black too. With my move order, though, I don't always get there. The way I play against Bishop C4 in the classical Sicilian. Yeah, Rook D8. You need to keep the F file in mind. So, let's see what's happening here. Don't Do It playing again. He's got the whole Roman. Opening repertoire going on. He's like a lost brother to me. No, I never really copied Roman's openings except for this. The only thing I worked with Roman on a lot was the King's Indian, and yeah, White just lost a pawn here. The only trap is you can't take with the knight because of Bishop E3 winning a piece. So you take with the queen, you're up a pawn. I never played Roman's recommendations like the Grand Prix attack or the Scotch Gambit or whatever it is. Alright, let's go back. So view tournament. Don't Do It in first. Vatra, what's he doing? He's not playing. World Loser's playing. He actually finished? Oh, I'm playing Vatra now, okay. We've got to make a run for 3rd place. I would be satisfied with that, so I'm not berserking or anything. I played my E4. Yesterday I beat Vatra in a regular tournament. It was funny, we were paired in the 1st round. But Vatra, I thought you probably like saw me and jumped in the tournament because it was some weak tournament, like an hourly blitz or something that I'll occasionally just jump in because I feel like playing a game, and it just automatically pairs you. I like the tournaments because you could just play a few games and then go do something else. Wow, Euphoric Batman, you never got in that position? That's his first time? Yeah, short Kasparov. So, it's a very important position for the evaluation of that whole line. And now we're looking at Aronian versus Aronian MVL. What happened today at the World Cup, guys? Let me know. I didn't have time to check it out. I mean, they're still playing, I guess. In some cases, they can still be playing. Any good results today at World Cup? Aronian narrowly taking out Matlikov yesterday. And just decided in like rapid chess or blitz. Vatra, what are you doing here? You can play really garbage like Chernyshov played against me with D6. Yeah, there it is, man. The Chernyshov variation. This is like... I mean, maybe D6 isn't that bad, but Chernyshov did something weird. He did like ED, ED, and Bishop G4. And that looks really... How I managed to lose that position with White is... Fedoseev won and Ivanchuk won. Fedoseev was playing like Rothstein. What? Rothstein or... I think two of the more unheralded players were playing each other, Rothstein against Fedoseev. I mean, these guys aren't really household names. Although they're both around 2,700 by now. they're not guys you really think of that much. Next to the other players in the tournament, they're sort of like, who's that guy? They were paired with each other, which I thought was good. Good for them. I mean, that's the only pairing where there really wasn't a big name left in the 16 players that remained. So that was kind of a coin flip. Here I don't know what to do. We can turn it into a King's Indian of sorts. Just take our space advantage. You say Fedoseev is the awesome future of Russian chess. He could be. I should check out his games. I don't know him as much as some of the other players, you know. Like, I've seen a lot of Dubov games. I've seen a lot of Matlikov games. But Fedoseev, just because maybe he doesn't have a repertoire that's... maybe his repertoire isn't similar to mine. I just haven't seen too many of his games. Maybe because he plays different openings than I play. I haven't really noticed. Okay, so Divyavatra, I mean, I know his name, but I don't really remember like any of his games. I'll check it out. Divyavatra, playing like a friend of mine, usually plays. Why would I play 92 necessarily here? I guess we can play Czech Benoni style. I could play e4, obviously. I'm just trying to move quickly. Dubov lost against Aronian. You see, like, that's a brutal pairing. Like, if you're Dubov, you have to play Aronian. But if, like, Fedoseev and... It is Rothstein, right? Rothstein. Those guys playing each other, it's kind of like a break, you know? I mean, you'd rather play another guy your own strength than have to play Aronian or MVL or, you know, someone really brutal. So, okay, we're just transposing to Czech Benoni territory here by a strange order of moves. A weird Czech Benoni with his knight out on a5. Okay, Queen b6. Queen b6 is a really bizarre move, which I don't support. I don't think this is a good move, man. Until there, I thought you were, you know, you're okay, but you got going out on some kind of weird tangent with Queen b6. I think this queen is very misplaced on b6. Dubov made a draw. Oh, he did make a draw. Okay, he did make a draw. Aronian blundered. Okay. I understand now. Alright, man. You're trying for this perverse cheapo, like knight to b3? Damn, dude. That is really cheap. No, originally I was gonna not castle. Maybe I should stick to the program. Although we can castle here. I mean, my position is so good. I need to put my king somewhere. Maybe the best is to play like a Lopez. And it does kind of look like a Roy Lopez. h6. Knight h4. Preparatory move. Yes, I'm thinking about g4. But I don't really want to do g4. Depending on what he does. I think he's... Wow, I thought he was going to play knight h7 there. So now we go g3. This is... not my only move, though. Maybe I just had knight takes e5. Jeez. Okay. Knight takes e5. Knight takes g3. The massive positional advantage. How massive is my positional advantage after knight takes e5, knight takes g3? F takes G, takes. Suddenly his ridiculous queen looks good. That's a pity. I don't really want to see that. I also don't want this to turn into like some sort of blitz, you know, contest. Alright, we'll see. I still think white is better here. Got the F file. I could win material. No. Maybe. If he plays... Well, the moment of truth. This is like I give him a lot of play if I do this. Okay, we'll see. He didn't think too long on that move. That's kind of his hallmark. Not thinking too long. Wow. Holy crap. So he basically sees Queen A5 and he's thinking, okay. We can play like positionally maybe. I don't know. We have increment 7 plus 2. The center is strong. But don't I have some serious threats here along the G file? That looks really dangerous for black. I mean, it should be winning. Oh man. B3, Queen A5. F5. But I have Queen H4. What? All right. I mean, he was very lucky. You know, he avoided all these tricks with like rook takes G7 and stuff. You know, now I should just be winning. Check. Two connected passed pawns. He's threatening check and take my pawn. All right. So rook G2, Queen D3. Damn it. That's good enough. Good enough, I guess. Nair had a nice initiative against Rapport. I was thinking the Nair Rapport game is like the ultimate sort of the Nair guy. He amazes me. I mean, at one point he was like 25-50, like an average GM, and he isn't that young, and he just suddenly, he always seems showing up. He keeps showing up, having these fantastic performances, and his rating just keeps getting higher and higher. You know, at one point he played, I remember, some opens in the United States where, you know, he was just an average grandmaster. I mean, it seemed like he didn't seem like he was going to be like a 2680 player or 2700 player. Bishop h5. Okay. Well, I've got to do something here. Violent. Oh my God. What is going on? And this is really... I thought I had rook takes g7, but it doesn't work. Gotta be kidding me. I don't know. My queen needs to get back in the game. Is it just perpetual check now? Gotta be kidding me. How is that a threefold repetition? Is that seriously a threefold repetition? Queen f4 check? How many times was your queen on f4? It's already been there 3 times in this position. It's unbelievable. This is a draw. It's just a draw. He finds bishop h5. Now I need to be like playing perfect moves to win. Only move. Even that isn't winning. I'm not winning this position. 2 connected passed pawns and up the exchange, and I'm not winning. That's unbelievable, dude. How is that even possible? Nice tricks by me. I would say so, man. I mean, you have to be lost there. Whew. Has to be lost for black. Queen a6. This is just ridiculous. I missed knight takes e5 the first time though. I mean, this was like game over basically. Just game over. You should still do knight g3. King takes g3. D takes e5, king h2 with a clear pawn up. Anyways. Alright, let's what am I doing here? Let's go back to the tournament. No excessive use of caps. I'm a kiddie, he used caps too much. So Nair against Rapport is a stylistic matchup that's funny. Don't do it, not surprisingly, has a perfect score. Divyavatra is human. Nefedov, I tried to make the stream at 6:30 instead of 6. Maybe I can do it at 7 next time. We'll try to push it back till 7. But the point is you can enter the tournament, you know, later. It's not like you couldn't enter the tournament now. You can enter half an hour later. But I can't do it, you know, that late. 7 o'clock is the latest I can start. We'll try to mix in some 7 o'clock starts. But basically I moved it from 6 to 6:30 just for you, Nefedov. And people like you, we try to move it a little later. 7 will be the limit, pretty much, I think, because I have to be finished by 10. I'm streaming tomorrow morning and have other stuff. I'm a kiddie again. Don't do it. Beat me. World loser didn't move. What? what happened with World Loser? The other thing is, Nefedov, you're a subscriber. I wanna know what the subscribers think about the time control, you know. And the other thing is, I want to know what you guys think about. Whether I should play or just commentate on the other players. Because we have the option to do both. We got 44 viewers. I don't know, it seems like we can start at 7. That's the latest I can do, you know. Any later starts, not really good for my schedule. 7 till 9:30. Then I turn into a pumpkin. Knight d2, weird move. But I guess it's not that weird. Why are you delaying knight f3 so much here? Like, what does that have to do with the price of oil? Don't really know. So we're going to play c5 anyway. You would like it after dinner as well, because I'm cooking, and then I'm eating. 7 would be awesome. We got 2 subscribers that prefer 7. And I don't mind 7. What's up? C3. Yeah, this is the ultra solid opening, the London system. No, D6 or B6, but B6 allows bishop F3. That's a special benefit of this weird thing he played, the move order. The benefit of his weird move order. Queen B6 is like walking into knight C4, which is strange. A little strange too. You don't see the knight d2 coming so early so often. This makes it awkward for me. I can't play queen c7, queen b6. What is this? Like, I have to like take on d4 and offer a draw or something. No, we have to play d6, I guess. But even that doesn't appeal. I could play b6, and if bishop f3, play d5. There was this little old man at an Aeroflot Open I played once. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was like a draw master. This like IM, but he was rated like 2350 or something, and he just like drew all of his games mostly. He played something weird with a very early bishop e2, bishop f3. It was some kind of weird London system like that. I can't remember his name now. World Loser has internet problems. Hurricane related. No hurricanes in Poland. Don't do it kind of running away with the tournament. I don't know, we have to find a way to kind of handicap him or something. I mean, he's just like beats everybody. What's the challenge in that? We've got, who do I recognize? I'm a Kitty has been here lately. Diovin. And a lot of new players. Different from my usual streams. Little Pingwing, are you playing or you're cooking? You said you're cooking. Alright, now we're back to reality here with B6. Very funky move order. I don't know if he's intentionally doing this, like weird, delaying knight f3, or if it's just like he just happened to make that move order. But I'm thinking about bishop a6. I've played this as a recommendation of Andrew Martin, made like, you know, Andrew Martin recommended this probably like 25 years ago in a King's Indian book. But I looked at it myself, you know, and I'm actually playing this kind of position, this Reti kind of position with white as well. You could even do it with white, but I don't think with white it makes quite as much sense. This knight, you know, it looks weird, but it actually gets back in the game, you know, pretty effectively from c7. I had a game in the New York Open against some master where I drew. I had a game against this, I think, Belgian master once. Maybe he was Dutch. I've had a couple games that were draws. It's hard, you know, for black to win if white is really playing for a draw or really playing not to take any risks. So we'll try to move the tournament to we'll try to move the tournament. What was that? Notifications. Move the tournament to 7 from now on. I don't know about this locale for the queen. Looks kind of artificial to me. Queen could be exposed along the c-file. I think you want it on e2 typically. There are other plans white could employ, like a4 of course. So I'm basically using my pre-arranged setup here. We play queen d7, queen b7. There were some good players who have played this way with black. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's very compact. We'll get, you know, kind of the pressure on the white squares going on, and that's the weak point for white, the white squares in this position, because he has this dark squared bishop that's, you know, in the pawn structure that's all dark square pawns. That's why we want to trade his white square bishop off. So it's a pretty good way for black to equalize, but winning is another story. The London system, of course, very popular now because there have been a number of books like espousing it and its virtues. Magnus plays it. It's a great practical opening. Before the trend of the London system became popular, I used to make fun of some of my teammates. I used to always make fun of it, you know, playing the London system as kind of like a wimpy thing. But Magnus has shown us that it's actually got a lot of practical strength. Now we need to think about a plan. I mean, I have seen b5 coming in some games. It makes some sense now. We can consider b5. Maybe actually stopping him from playing a4. It's one benefit. Starting a minority attack. Kind of not really a true minority attack though. It's basically the minority against the majority against the majority. It's Republicans against Democrats. On the Queen's side, no minority really. But anyway, you could play it other ways. I'm putting some pressure, doing something kind of controversial here. You could play a4 even. That looks very combative. But I guess we'll push. And then if queen b5, rook b8. That's kind of a funky... Almost said another F word. Gotta be careful. Okay, this changes the whole situation. Now we take, and we've got knight b4 sometimes. White has the center, but it doesn't seem like he can do a whole lot with it. Well, we need to try to keep him off balance here. No-brainer. This is definitely a no-brainer, man. You gotta take. What happened? Where am I now? Hey, I am not at tournament. Don't do it as banned. I didn't report you, man. Somebody must have reported you that played you. But I swear, I have nothing, nothing there. Someone must have played you and said you were an engine. So I would, you know, I would appeal to lichess. But I am sorry to hear that, because a lot of people will report you if they think that, you know, you played very well. Just appeal it to the moderators. I don't know. That's awkward. Okay, e5. I agree. I've been impressed by Don't Do It Again, but I wouldn't, you know, have enough evidence to definitively accuse him of being a computer. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it certainly wouldn't be me. I would need more games to make an accusation of that sort. So somebody played you, you know, in this tournament and must have felt that you were a computer. But they pulled the trigger pretty fast on the ban there. Obviously, your score is great, admitted, but given your rating of 2100, it's not out of the question that you are that good. So, I mean, I wouldn't really want to weigh in on it. I really don't know. You know, I mean, you tell me that you're a real player, I would took your word for it. But if the administrators think you're a computer, it's going to have to be just taken up with them. You know, I can't say one way or the other, honestly. White has some compensation here for the piece. Maybe I could play knight c5. This is kind of weird, but we've got to do something. I don't know, maybe I should play knight c5. Seriously. Knight c5, queen c4, queen c5, knight c5. Am I going to get myself in trouble if I do this? Alright. We only live once. I don't know. Don't do it again. You should be able to find out, you know, what someone you can appeal to about it. Rook e2. As I said earlier, don't do it again is very strong, but I can't, you know, make a case as to whether he's a computer or not a computer. I wouldn't be able to say. I think that I've seen some of his games that are very, very strong, and I sometimes say he plays like a GM, but it's difficult to prove if he's a computer or not a computer. I really can't accuse him. It wasn't me. Probably someone else he played. Everybody, who did it? Now, you never know. I mean, it could be from other games you played earlier, but I don't think the timing of it would be pretty obviously something that happened now. I don't know how they determine it, though. I'm not, like, privy to the inner workings of lichess. And, you know, I just know when someone's suspicious, I report them. And then sometimes they get banned and sometimes they don't. But, as far as how they determine it, whether they decide it or not, I don't know. Okay, I'm a Kitty is basically losing down a piece here. So unfortunately, our tournament leader has been put out of commission by the administrators till further review. Rook g3. He is very strong, I admit. Alright. You have to find the moderator, man. I mean, I guess there are many people who have moderator powers. There has to be a way to appeal it. But I'm a Kitty's just kind of melting down here. Lost a piece earlier. But don't panic. If you're innocent, don't do it again. I'm sure you can make a case for yourself. Dibliabatra, Xerox, World Loser, me, I'm a Kitty. Tournament leader knocked out. We've got 24 minutes left. Alright, I've got time for like 1 or 2 more games. Bans rarely get overturned. When lichess bans you, you almost always have used an engine. Well, these things are impossible to say one way or another. No one can prove it. See, that's the problem, Euphoric Batman. At the end of the day, it's kind of a judgment call in every case. I mean, you know. But that's like, we have to live by the law, I guess. Sorry it was one of my viewers, but it's not my call. Diovin we have played before. Okay. You know, you can kind of prove it to a certain extent, but it's always hard to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. You know, I think if it was like the U.S. justice system or something, a lot less people would be convicted. But here, I mean, I appreciate the effort that lichess makes to catch computer cheaters, because I'm sick of it too. But there are obviously innocent people who get accused falsely. There's no way around it. There have to be, you know, people that are falsely accused. So no justice system is perfect. 94. So you're basically playing the Chigorin here. A very good line of the Chigorin. For me, one tempo less. It's tempting to play f5. It's also tempting to play bishop f5. And I don't know which is better. I think I've played this in one game once. If I had an extra tempo, honestly, I mean, bishop h6 I played in this position once in a US Amateur Team Championship, where I had an extra move in, like knight c6 or something, and I just played bishop h6. The guy couldn't move. He was paralyzed and lost. But here I don't think I have time for that. Maybe I have to retreat the bishop, giving white a playable position. Maybe the mods saw he played like perfect 10 games in a row. Isn't that just bad if people get falsely banned? Well, it's the same as people going to jail in the real world, you know, who didn't do it. Yeah, it is bad. What can we say? You know, it happens, and we hope that it doesn't happen too much. If it's, of course it would be bad. Goes without saying. I can't prove that "Don't Do It Again" is innocent or guilty. I haven't played enough games with him to really say. He's impressive, but I'd like to kind of not really, you know, make a decisive decision, because I just don't know. You know, what can I say? Obviously, people are going to get falsely accused, and people get convicted and go to jail for most of their lives when they didn't do it. You know, I mean, it happens all the time. So, queen a5 check here. Actually, this is probably the simplest way. Get my pawn back. But I don't know. That also actually speeds up his development a little. I like the way he's playing this. It's kind of cool. But I have bishop h6, and that piece needs to get in the game anyway. Black should be better. Dilyavatra says, as far as I know him, he is legit. On CC, we play tons of games. He never get banned. CC, you mean like chess? You know what? Well, that's, yeah, that's the case with most people. Uh-oh, I've got bishop h6 here. Does that just win, or he's got an in-between move e3? Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we've got massive pressure on Diovin here. He's barely alive, but barely alive might be enough to survive. There's this nasty mate on d8, which, unfortunately, I have no time to allow that. A lot of pressure. Can he survive? Articom says, what do you think about d4, knight f6, g4? It's a funny position. You know what? I actually thought about that, and it may not be ridiculous not to take it, you know, for black. I mean, I seriously thought about declining it with something like what did I think? d4, knight f6, g4, d6 maybe. You could decline it. Now, do we have something here? Pawn takes pawn. He's got the d7 check though. That's problematic as well. We can castle queenside. Feels like black should almost be winning by force, but where is it? Where's the win? If there's a win. Rook d8. I hope I don't miss something. He's got a massive time advantage. It's like ridiculous. 19 minutes. I mean 1900, and he's got 6 minutes left. Articum says I played against him in Blitz game. Knight takes g4, e4, f5. I don't like f5. That looks crazy. f5 looks crazy. So Diavin is he's just battening down the hatches now. No, I was thinking of pawn takes pawn, I guess. Opening up for my pieces. It's sort of double-edged, though. This shatters his structure. I don't think I have a forced win, but I can force him to kind of destroy his pawn structure. I guess, well, I kind of thought he was going to take with the queen there. I've got to watch out, though. Probably I should chop everything and play some kind of simplified position. If I chop everything... Oh, I just went a piece. Oh, man. Never mind. He has to take with the queen on e3, I guess. Is there any point in this? Should I do like rook takes instead? Rook takes. Oh. He doesn't have a good place to go after rook takes. Queen e2 walks into knight d4. Like study-like answer. Vivyavatra, what? Anti-cheat system is way better, and site is free. I didn't see a Westbrook. Why do people prefer to play on lichess over chess.com? Well, yeah, I mean, I think the thing is that chess.com doesn't want to ban anyone ever, because they're all, like, you know, a lot of them are paying customers. So lichess can rely on donations from people like me, for example. And they're not afraid to pull the trigger, you know. Sadly, a few people get chosen, you know, or accused falsely. But, you know, still, I'd rather have that happen than have nobody, you know, getting caught for cheating, which is more like the norm on chess.com. Okay, let's get the rest of our pieces developed, shall we? Knight b4. That's not really adhering to what I was just saying, but I want to keep the initiative going. Yeah, I don't think you should resign now. I mean, rook d2, okay, you can resign. Back to tournament. We have 14 minutes left. I'm in second place. I could take it down only because of police interaction. They took out our don't do it. Don't do it again. I mean, maybe don't do it again. His record is just too good. I don't know, though. Like, did someone report him, or he just triggered something automatically? I mean, maybe they have some automatic, you know, way of catching people who exactly like, I don't know. You know, Divlyvatra said, if you have too many games with the Centipon like lost under 10 in a row, it's possible you trip. There's a trip wire or something. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's possible that someone reported him. It's possible that he tripped something. No, I think that lichess is way better than chess.com. The only thing I like about chess.com is it has a kind of like, you know, better social social media kind of, you know, thing, but that isn't the most important factor. You know, I really like lichess better. The programming is better. It's free. If it's free, it's for me. I like the fact that people who cheat actually get caught. I've played like 10 games on chess.com and half of my opponents were using a computer. How would you detect, for example, an engine strength of 1700? Yeah, good question, man. Well, I mean, really professional cheaters, the best, you know, they're going to be able to, very difficult to catch on any site. You know, if you're really professional at cheating, you're going to make yourself look like you could be human. You make some mistakes, you know. What's the point, though? I mean, we're playing here on lichess. It's not for money. Bishop d7. This is kind of a weird move. The idea is to go to bishop c6. Against Magnus Carlsen's dad, you know, in my now famous game against Magnus's dad, I played bishop d7 and Magnus's dad played knight c2, spawning the game where I analyzed with Magnus not realizing who he was. And after that game and another game, I realized I don't really like white keeping the pieces on the board in this kind of variation in the Marazzi, so I tend to do like knight takes d4 followed by bishop d7, bishop c6. Milos Krstić, like Super NM Maruga. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to name any names or anything like that, but I mean, obviously, you know, there are people who cheat and they're hard to prove it, you know. I'm sure there's lots of them. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. So it looks like Quaz, you basically transposed to my game with Leonid Shamkovich from Manhattan, 1998, 99. Shamkovich, the legendary Soviet Grandmaster, against me. It came out of a Marazzi. I think it was the same position. No, something's different. Because against Shamko, he could take on e5. I played e5, he could take on e5. But here, if he takes on e5, no, this is right. This is the position. No. No, it's not. Wait a minute. e5, take, take, take. Queen b6 check, queen d4. Queen takes b2. Bishop takes f6. What the heck? It feels different. Rook d8. Against Shamko, I played e5. And he believed me, but then later I looked at it with the computer, recently in fact, because the game could have come up again, and Leonid didn't take the pawn, and I got equality. And there's some other games where this has actually happened, but I think he can white take this pawn. Take, take, take. Queen b6 check. I don't know. We'll find out. It's interesting. Quaz. 2096. What kind of job do you have, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, man. I'm a spy. I'm a professional chess player and coach, and prior to that, I was actually playing poker full time. So we spent the last 8 years before going back to chess playing online poker exclusively. But that game is kind of drying up because of government regulations and less players, and it's just basically more difficult to make a living playing online poker. So prior to 2016, that's all I was doing between like 2009 and 2015. But things have changed. We're back to chess, and I never really wanted like a contemporary job. I have a college degree, but I don't want to be a slave to the office. So we try to make a living playing chess and other stuff. It's great when you know, you're like dating or something, and you know, the other person asks you, what do you do? Oh, I'm a professional games player. That doesn't always go down well, but that's life. All right, I'm gonna go with a5 and a blockade approach here. It's a little touch and go, but we have the better structure for sure. I had a correspondence game here on lichess, not that different from this. We stopped playing full-time poker in 2008. Yeah, actually, that's when I transformed from a sit-and-go player to a tournament player. But I was luckily here in Hungary, so because I was in Hungary, not because of poker, I was actually able to continue playing. I almost final tabled the Sunday Million playing on my wife's account, and that's when PokerStars wasn't happy about me having played on a different account that didn't belong to me. So I was temporarily not allowed to play, but eventually we got it straightened out. So I never played on more than one account at the same time. Yeah, the whole thing with the government and the United States was a disaster for poker in general. And no, I didn't stop playing. I just simply got a Hungarian account and kept playing over here. And that's when I really started to play a lot. Post was it 2008? Well, I thought it was like 2000. Was it 2008? Is that the right year? Are you sure? It wasn't 2008, man. I mean, it was like, okay, that came down in 2008. I mean, Black Tuesday was like 2010, wasn't it? When was Black Tuesday? I mean, I was still playing on my old account until something like 2010, and I had to get a new account. 97. Well, actually, they reinstated my American account as a Hungarian account. I was playing mostly on PokerStars. Anyway, we get away from the subject here. I'm doing just chess now. I was asked what I do for a living, and the answer is either chess or poker. But lately it's been just chess. Okay, so Quaz has played a neat game. He's got something here. I think White stands a little bit better, objectively. I was thinking rook e8 now. Continuation of the plan. This is a little bit problematic, actually. F5 is very weakening. I think we have a problem. Maybe we can do rook e8. Then bishop g4 starts to look kind of ugly. This guy is a new opponent for me. I've never played him. It feels a little weird to play rook e8 because I am getting off the f-file. But f5 looked just too... Well, I mean, he just plays bishop g5. I don't know if I have a good move against bishop g5. This move is kind of slow. But what can I do now? I wanted to play knight f8. The problem is that it runs into bishop b6. That thus the headaches begin. Rook c8, a4. Okay, we'll play a4. Oh man, White is better. I don't like taking on d5. Probably the biggest problem is queen takes d5. Actually, he played b4. Well. Now I don't know what to do. We've got to be very, very careful here. We're in a lot of trouble. This guy is not running for a place in the tournament. He must have just joined. b6. We'll drop a pawn if I do that. I don't know what to do. I thought about b5, but giving him protected pass pawn looks really dangerous. Actually, everything looks really dangerous for me here. It's like White has a clear advantage. He's playing like a positional god. Not too many people capable of doing this. I don't think I ever played anyone on lichess who squeezed me this much in this line. You don't see f4 very often. This, though, Feels like he's hesitating with bishop g5. A little hesitation there, bishop g5. Maybe he could just go forward with b5 with a big edge. I feel like I'm not out of the woods, but I'm near grandmother's house, you know, at this point. Perhaps I should just exchange on h6 there. But I feel lucky to be alive at all in this position. Still, it's pretty unpleasant. This wasn't good. Milos Kirstich, what? So the the UIGEA was passed in 2006, but you know, nothing really happened for a while with that. You know, that's the thing. I mean, it just went on and went on. They didn't really do anything to enforce it for quite a while after that. Now there's this problem back again with bishop e3. This looks really ugly for me, but we're going to try to just activate either with these passed pawns or maybe some idea of b5 breaking up his queenside. I don't know. This trash compactor is very strong for white. And he could also trade queens. He did not do that. This is like the most conservative approach by white, more or less. But white has a clear advantage here. This is a very, very dangerous situation for me. I don't know, f5 looks lame. It opens up his bishops. I'm getting chopped up here. I mean, maybe I can try to grab material with e4. If he takes, I play e4. I try to win the exchange. It's something, at least. I don't like grabbing material, but if I can get unclear, it's probably better than clearly worse. Once again, white playing really well. I'm in a world of hurt here. Clear advantage to white with the two bishops raking both sides of the board, Bobby Fischer style. Fischer notoriously good with bishop pair. I like to use him as an example. My hair is weird. Sheldon Adelson, yeah, please. Bishop queen d3, wow, this is very positional. We're just barely alive here. Knight f6 is a move. What we need is a move, basically. Bang, e4. I mean, white played like... Well, white still has chances. White played a great positional game. We got this cheapo on him. And, you know, we're up a piece now for a pawn or two. So, it looks better than it did. But I don't like, you know, winning ugly, although I do it a lot. It's not my goal in life to play badly and swindle people. Queen h4 looks kind of dangerous. So what's not dangerous, right? Pretty much everything is dangerous. Queen h4. Well, at least it's like playable. We do have tactics. Threatening knight g3 check followed by rook takes e3. I just hope it works. Now I don't have that. Excuse me while I just go into total panic mode. This was not pretty. The time is up in the tournament. I finished 5th. Nice job, me. How you guys snuck in front of me, man. This game cost me everything. Can't believe it. Is it still a perpetual? Are you kidding me? He's still not running out of checks. This is like a joke, dude. This is never gonna end. There's no way this is a perpetual check. That's not a perpetual check. That's not even check. Oh no. I win, but I don't win. I'm 5th place. Alright. End of tournament. World loser. How did you win the tournament, man? Where did you come from? Human Being came out of nowhere, too. I didn't even notice Human Being. Xerox was in there for the long haul. How did Human Being get so many points so quickly? So I was delayed by Quaz there. Good job, man. Good job stopping me. Lots of fun to play, guys. Thank you. We had, let's see, World Loser first. Of course, you know, a moment of silence for Don't Do It, who we have to, you know, announce was had his account banned during tournament. Again, I don't know if he was guilty or not. You know, perhaps he was innocent. I'm not not the one who reported him for cheating. I mean, some people freak out when they lose a game or two, you know, and I've lost a couple times to Don't Do It, so I could, you know, people could think like I reported him for being a computer, but I didn't. I have reported many people who I suspected of being computers. Don't Do It. I admit he's very strong, but I can't, you know, be sure that he was an engine, so I wouldn't do that. You know, I would need more games. It wasn't me. Giving him mails to complain and other. Yeah, anyway, and I hope that if he's innocent, Don't Do It can prove it. As people said, though, I think a lot of people, you know, very few people's bans have been rescinded. I have seen it, though. There are people have had their bans rescinded, so we have a little bit of time left, guys. I started at 6:30, so let's play a couple more Blitz games if you want. Daily Classical Arena was just about to start, just in time, guys. If you want to continue playing classical chess, does anybody want to challenge me to a game? I have time for a game or two before we end the stream today. Subscribers, Dilyavatra. I did get to play Dilyavatra, right? I did. He drew that amazing game against me, actually. We could look at that for a minute. Maybe I'll make a video of the best games from this tournament. I wanted to look, though, in particular, my game with Dilyavatra was pretty cool. He was reaching this ending where he was down the exchange and I had 2 connected passed pawns, and I thought, oh, I must be winning somehow. You know, this looks overwhelming. I've got these monster pawns and my rooks are guarding my king, and I'm like, okay, this has got to be a winning position. And according to the engine, I'm not winning. It's just like slightly better for white. Bishop h5. Be careful. Bishop h5. And you know what? I had this hallucination here that I could play rook takes g7. Not a good idea, you know. Rook takes g7, loses immediately to queen d2 check. It's amazing. So that was the highlight game for me. I thought no rated games, Human Being. Dilyavatra will play a repeat performance. Anyway, Articom reported 2 people for cheating. Well, don't tell them who. Don't say who it was, because you could get somebody very angry. Try to remain anonymous. If you do report someone for cheating, you know, you definitely shouldn't publicly shame them. So that's a big thing on lichess, which I appreciate. I mean, sometimes people just blatantly cheat against me, you know, so I'm like, but I still don't announce it on the stream if I'm going to report someone. But I try not to do it unless it's absolutely necessary. Dilyavatra playing the pork chop. We called this the pork chop at my chess club when I was starting out. Basically, f3, king f2, h4. But the f2, you know, f2, king f2 is not so bad. The h4 is the really dubious part of the so-called pork chop. Don't recommend the h4. Probably not so bad doing just king h2. Count Chocula, have I ever played John Bartholomew? You know what? I don't even think in my years of playing on ICC, my later years of playing on ICC, I ever happened to, I don't think I even played him in a blitz game. The last time I played tournaments in the US, like a lot of tournaments, was in 2006. I played, actually, maybe there was one after that, around 2007, I don't recall, but so John was just really getting strong, and I remember playing like adjacent to him or near him. See, the thing is, in the one or two tournaments where I played with Bartholomew, like we probably had similar ratings or not that far apart, so it's not very common to get paired with someone. You know, if you have a similar type of rating, it would have to be like a last round game where, you know, you have the same score. I'm so tempted to play like f5 here. You know, don't play like Dibliavatra. I'm playing according to principles with this move. Avoid exchanges when you have more space. Yeah, so I never played with Bartholomew. Yeah, I know he's got a YouTube channel, and I do too, video chess training on YouTube. But he seems like a good player, and he's very well spoken. Okay, time to develop the pieces. I beat Uncle Yermo 2 times. Yeah, Uncle Yermo. I have a good score against Alexei. Number of draws and wins. Hopefully I'll take that to my grave. Not too soon, though. Dibliavatra. Why would you choose e1 rather than f1 for the rook? It's kind of weird. We're going to go get him. We got lots of happy surprises for you, man. I think that Dibliavatra played one of the weirdest games the other day in my simul, which I did on Sunday. He was just lost after like 15 moves. But he managed to make it to the end game and beat me. Okay, well, I don't know. This is an attempt by Dibliavatra to kind of show that the initial position is not so weak. It's close to something for me, but it's easy to overextend at the same time. So we're just gonna like chill out here. What do you do mostly when you're not streaming? Is this your job? This is a popular question today. Yeah, we've got the second time. I had to answer this question. I don't mind. Yeah, that's all I do is play chess now. Teaching lessons and streaming and playing occasionally when I get the chance. As pointed out earlier in the stream, though, it is expensive to go off to tournaments and whatnot, you know, unless you're getting all your expenses paid. Even grandmasters oftentimes don't get comped everything, so it's hard to make a living playing in tournaments unless your wife has a good job, which is the best way to do it. Unfortunately, I'm not so lucky, so I spend most of my time teaching chess to other people. Maybe make a what? Exclam job command. Definitely. Job command. Yeah, the other question is, like, people always ask me, I guess this is mostly Western people, they're like, why do you live in Hungary? I've been coming to Hungary since like 1996, and I always liked it. 20 years since my first tournament. When I visited Hungary in 96, so it's more than 20 years now. Yeah, that's weird. Alright, we're just gonna play like purely positional chess here. E4. We've got the spatial advantage on the king side, wedge. Now the question is, well, I mean, I could consider knight f4 for white, but bishop takes c. This is pretty devastating to his pawn structure, obviously. Probably I would take and play a6. Then his knight would have to go back rather awkwardly. The strongest player I've ever played is Enrico. Count Chocula over the board. Yes, Enrico beat me twice. I have a bad score against Enrico. One was a very awkward game, though. I was under a lot of stress, and I had like 10 cups of coffee and started to have some kind of panic attack during the game. I had a very, very good position against Enrico in that game. I thought I was better. But I just started to feel like I was having heart palpitations and started to freak out. Not a pleasant experience. Okay, what just happened? He's got this trick with what is going on here? Okay, pawn takes pawn, knight f4. What? Pawn takes pawn, knight f4. That's a lot of calculation, man. Maybe I should just move my rook rather than try anything fancy here. Takes knight f4. What? Bishop takes f4, and then there's this in-between move. Bishop takes f3, and then knight g4, threatening mate when he'd have to like take on g4, and then I would take with a pawn, and then all hell breaks loose. I have f2 check at some point. Wait a minute. Pawn takes pawn, knight f4, f2 check. King takes f2, and then I have nothing left. Oh man, wait a minute. Pawn takes pawn, knight f4, f2 check. King takes f2, knight g4 check. And then we're starting to talk about, you know, then we're having some fun maybe. All right. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. I don't know. Knight g4 is a massive threat in this position. I mean, I think bishop takes f8, knight g4 looks very problematic for white. Little Penguin, the strongest player I ever played is my boyfriend, and he's no joke. The strongest player I ever played was Senor Beliavsky, and I drew. I was clearly better. And Wojciech, my friend, wanted to kill me because he said I ruined the tournament by not playing for a win in a clearly better position. To me, it wasn't clearly better. I was like up a pawn, but I was not sure. And Beliavsky was a former top 10 in the world. Now he's getting old. I mean, I have played players who consequently got to be the top players in the world. I played with Magnus Carlsen. I played with Aronia, and I played with Caruana, and I played with Hikaru. You know, but all these guys were not in the top 10 when I played them. You know, that's the difference. I mean, when you say like I played, you know, who's the best player you played? Well, you know, that depends on whether you're talking about like whether, you know, when they're on their way up, or, you know, playing them when they currently were. Little Penguin, thank you for the funny reference. You won once in Blitz, only one game. Whoa. Right. Okay, this was our main line, right? F2 check. So the point was that bishop takes f4, bishop takes f3. That looks like it shuts me down. Like, after that, I think I might even be lost. But after this move, the calculations change. Now, I have to be honest with you guys. I didn't calculate king f3 here. In addition to some other moves. I've got to take the knight. I mean, this... A king f3 I would take on f4 as well. Okay, this has got to go. So, now what's going on? He's got two hanging possibilities. Three pieces are hanging. He couldn't decide which one to take. They all look so good. Yeah, now I figure queen takes h2, and we've got this wicked sort of initiative. But is that enough? We could also play for a mate. I mean, there's always like queen h4 or something. Or we could just defend our material. The problem is there's this knight coming in at the end of the day. Sort of disruptive idea. Queen takes h2, I guess. Bishop takes f8. I don't know what's going on. I didn't really calculate enough here. Can somebody count the material, please? Alright, I'm down a rook or something. We're down a rook at the moment. So guys, this is going to be it for today. Ending the stream. Queen f2 check is a draw. As at least a draw. Do we have more? The million-dollar question. The stupid bishop, man. It's like impossible to use it for anything. Just forget about it. Get it off the board. I just don't know, you know, what can I do to strengthen my attack here? I'm down material and there's no way to bring additional forces. This guy can't come in. This rook can't really, you know, get in the game. Rook takes f8. It's embarrassing, but I mean, how the heck can I win here? Queen f4. He's smart talking opponent with the you manage draw at least if you don't want to lose. Yeah, I figured. If I bring the king to f1, I have no way of getting him. If I'm winning this, it's by some kind of really mysterious means. Queen h4. I just don't have enough force. There's not enough force. I guess I didn't calculate far enough in advance. It's unbelievable that this is actually sound for white, though. I mean, the only other thing I could do would be, like, push my f-pawn down the board. I don't know, how the heck am I... How am I a rook down? I mean, it felt like I was taking pieces just as much as you were taking pieces. Alright, man, I don't know. I don't see a win for black. You're just taking this guy off on e6. That's the draw. There doesn't appear to be a win. But there is a line where the computer says I'm better. Whoa. Bishop f7. That never occurred to me, I have to admit. I'm basically down a rook And, you know, you got to be like Mamedyarov to come up with that move. But actually, Dilyavatra might have found it. It's his idea from our previous game to go bishop h5 at some point. That's apparently the only way I can play for a win in this position. Bishop f7, bishop h5 ideas. Maybe bishop h5 doesn't happen, but like if I do this, okay, you know, you pull your bishop back somewhere. For wherever, a3, let's say. Now, I'm down a full rook. I'm down a rook for 2 pawns. You know, so I honestly didn't see anything here. I mean, queen f2 check, king h1, a6. You know, so there's an argument for bishop c5, actually. After bishop f7. Sorry, bishop f7, bishop c5, temporarily defending d4. There's no real downside of bishop c5, I guess. How for the heck I don't have like some serious opening mistakes? Yeah, that is kind of weird, man. That's not a question mark, king f2. Like, lichess usually says 1 g6 is a mistake. King h1, b6. You know, so I've got to do this, basically. Bishop a3. I was running out of time, so, I mean, the engine says I'm slightly better here, but I'm starting to lose confidence in its evaluation. I don't know. My best position was probably at this moment. Their knight g4 check. But I played the only thing I could play. I made one mistake. Queen f2 check. Why is that a mistake? Why is that a mistake? Mistake best move was rook takes f8. Okay. Wow, really? Oh, well, wait a second. Why didn't I find this before? Hold on a second. Oh, so, okay, so... So I should play rook takes f8 here. Why doesn't it give that move? If it's so good. Rook takes e6. Right, and f4. Queen f2 check. I mean, if I had all the time in the world, this was a tournament game, I mean, I could probably do this, but with no time, I mean, my knight's hanging. I can't play f4. You can play f4 with the queen on h4. Queen g3, king g1, and now knight d8. That, of course, was my first consideration. Knight d8, man. I sent you a challenge, will you accept? No, I gotta go, man. Time for the stream to end now. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. CEST. Winning drawn endgames is how you beat any low-rated player. This is your typical drawn endgame. Crazy that the computer doesn't give him a dubious. No, it did give him dubious for f3, dubious for king f2. Nobody's done that in a tournament game yet. Okay, most people don't play c5. When he played f3, I just was like on autopilot. I thought he had played, I don't know, g3 or something. I'm not a low-rated player. I don't know if he was referencing your game. It doesn't look like a drawn endgame, man. There's not going to be any endgame in this game. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Thanks for watching, and congratulations to our tournament winner. So again, we were playing just for reference, guys. I'll show you the tournament. We were playing a tournament here. We had the Sparkle Horse Arena. Let me bring it up. Where is it? Where is it, man? Where's my arena? I have to click on it. Where is the arena? Oh, that's not the right game. That's why. Okay, Sparkle Horse Arena. We had World Loser win the tournament. Out from nowhere, our moderator wins the tournament. Dilyavatra second. Human Being also sort of just played 6 games, but snuck in there. And that's it, man. So Don't Do It got eliminated due to forfeiture. And World Loser takes it down. We'll be back next week. And you're welcome for the stream, guys. Check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. And check out my stream here tomorrow. Usually Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays I'm streaming Blitz and Classical Chess in the mornings. Tuesdays is this evening tournament. Thursdays is a subscriber stream. Please subscribe to the Twitch channel. Help me keep it going. Sundays is a simul I do. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning, 10 a.m. and then evenings, 6:30 or 7 p.m. We're going to move this tournament to 7 p.m. next week. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.